Buenos días, es el viernes y son las 12. Hello everyone, it's Friday and it's 12 o'clock, so time for Community Spanish, broadcasting every Wednesday and Friday at 12. In addition to Community Spanish, we also have broadcasting every week Community Mandarin, Community French, and Children's French. And over on our Instagram, we have French pronunciation and also some live Portuguese lessons. So lots of new content coming out to you each week. One kind of announcement before we get into our lesson for today is that while I've been doing the Community Spanish segments for the past a little over a year, we are going to be looking at kind of revamping and restyling our community programming for Spanish. So starting in May, we'll be doing a little bit of a new and different program. So the Community Spanish will be changing coming up, and we'll be posting more announcements as we finalize more details on that. But I just wanted to make mention as of now, as we get towards the end of April, that starting in May, we won't be following the regular schedule anymore, and there'll be something new coming up. So please stay tuned into our Facebook for more information on that and to see the kind of upcoming developments. All that being said, let's get into our content for today. So we're going to be doing another quick review of something we've done in the past. And so something that we reviewed, we started learning together a long time ago, but I want to come back to circle back, review, and make sure that these things are fresh. And so we're going to be looking at the verb tener today, the verb to have. And so if you haven't seen this verb at all, you're still welcome to try and jump in with us. But if you want to go back and see the original video, I invite you to go to our website, rolalang.com, and go to the Facebook Live section of the website, and you can see in our video library some of the original videos I made on this verb tener. If you want to go there first before you come back for our review. So that being said, for those of you who are ready for a review, we're going to jump right into that. So vamos a repasar un poquito y después hacer un ejercicio. So we're going to do a super quick review of the verb tener before we get into an exercise. And again, this is more like a kind of refreshing of knowledge. So I'm not going to go super in depth. And for those of you who are kind of feel like you know tener pretty well, this will just be a kind of to keep your skills and keep your information fresh in your mind. So the verb tener means to have in English. This is the infinitive, or the unconjugated, the neutral form of the verb, which is represented in English by putting the word to in front of an action word, like to think, to do, to run. And so this one is to have, and in Spanish represented by tener. So we're going to use this not only in a lot of the same ways we use to have in English, but there are a few extra things that we want to make note of when we're learning about this verb. So the first one is the possession, which is the kind of simple one that we're used to using for and used to using in English, excuse me. But we also have a few other cases that I want to refresh your memory on for using tener in Spanish, which are different than how we say them in English. So for example, expressing your age in Spanish is something that for which we will use the verb tener. So in English, we would say that you are a certain number of years, but in Spanish, we're going to say you have a certain number of years, okay? So tengo 20 años would be like, I'm 20 years old. Literally, I have 20 years. So remember to keep that in mind as you think about how to express age. We also use tener for a various number of expressions, which again are a little bit different than how we would say them in English. So for example, one of our most classic expressions would be in English, we would say that you are hungry, but in Spanish, we say literally that you have hunger. So we would say, instead of saying that you are hungry, we'd say use the expression tener hambre, to have hunger. So that's another one that's a little bit distinct and special about in Spanish, that it's not exactly the same in English. And there's a series of expressions, as you can see on the screen in front of you, but being hungry is the one that I wanted to kind of highlight the most as the best example of this case where we have a different way to express in English, and we use the verb to be in English, but in Spanish we're going to use tener. Now the last one that we have included on this list is talking about things that we have to do. And in this case, it is similar actually to the way we express things in English. So you have to use the verb to have when you have to do something. It's an obligation, or it's necessary that you do. In this case, we're going to use 3 parts to put together, as you can see from some of these examples. So the first part we're going to use is a conjugation of tener, which we're going to review those conjugations in just a second before we get to our exercise. But just in terms of the formula, we have a form of tener that goes with a specific person, like yo or tú or él. And then it's followed by the word que. Again, this one doesn't change no matter what person, it's always que. And the last part is the infinitive. So this would be a verb either ending in AR, ER, or IR. So for example, if you say like, I have to read this book, we would say tengo, which is I have, this is the conjugation, que, And then the verb leer. Leer means to read. And again, it's in infinitive, so it doesn't go with any specific person like yo or tú or él, ella, usted. It's just going to be the form that ends with AR, ER, or IR. So that's how we're going to construct this form. So again, I know I went through those pretty quickly, but as I said, this is supposed to be just kind of a review, refresh video. So if you need to explore any of these topics more in depth, and then I welcome you to check out the original videos I made where I kind of introduced these topics on our website in the Facebook Live section. So with all that said, let's review the conjugations together one time, and then we're going to go do a quick exercise. So con las conjugaciones, the different conjugations or the different forms that go with different people in Spanish, vamos a repetir juntos. So please say along with me. Yo tengo. Yo tengo. Tú tienes. Tú tienes. Él, ella, usted tiene. Él, ella, usted tiene. Nosotros, nosotras tenemos. Nosotros, nosotras tenemos. Vosotros, vosotras tenéis. Vosotros, vosotras tenéis. And the last one, ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. Ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. Muy bien. And as you can hear, as I pronounce these different conjugations, it's just like I said in the previous video where we reviewed some present tense verbs in general, that keep in mind in Spanish in general with kind of all Spanish words, not just with the verbs, but with almost all Spanish words, when we are saying them out loud, our natural place to stress is the second to last vowel. So you take the last vowel, which is either A, E, I, O, or U in English, or A, E, I, O, U in Espanol, and you're going to go back one more in the word, and so that's how you know where to stress. You can hear it when I pronounce tengo. Again, I'm stressing that A, which is the second to last vowel. Tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. You can hear my voice is changing, so make sure to keep those in mind as you pronounce. Okay, y ahora vamos al ejercicio. So now let's get to our exercise to practice putting all these things together. So vamos a traducir. So here's where we have to translate some different sentences in Espanol. And so I'm going to keep this fairly brief, and we'll do maybe just the first 5 or so as we review this topic. But again, as I said, if you want to get even more practice, I welcome you to check out some of those original videos where we went more in depth with different exercises to practice with the verb tener. So let's try a few of these together. And whenever you do an exercise, I always welcome you to participate along with me if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, to write your own answers in the comments below and see how the translations are going for you. So I'm going to walk through, but I definitely want you to participate as much as you feel comfortable along with me. So, por favor, escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo. So write your answers in the comments below. Okay, so vamos a número 1. They are 20 years old. So here we're expressing age, again, which is one of the things we reviewed that goes with tener in Spanish, to have a certain number of years. So for they, we're going to be using ellos. And then if hopefully with those conjugations fresh in your mind, you can remember the conjugation that goes with ellos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. And then we have the last part, the 20 years. Okay, 20 years. We get a little bit of number knowledge for this one. And so hopefully you have those in the back of your mind with 20, and then 20 años for years. So all together we have, y repita conmigo, ellos tienen 20 años. Muy bien. So in English, they are 20 years old. In Spanish, literally, they have 20 years. Okay, número 2. You and Mary have to see the movie. So here we're talking about like an obligation. So this is where we're going to use the structure we practiced with to have to do something. So you and Mary. So tú y Mary, or María, if we're going to make this like completely into Spanish. Okay, tú y María. And then, so we're talking about you and Mary together. So now I'm addressing both of you at the same time. So it's like saying you all or you both. So that's going to be falling into ustedes territory. So if it's ustedes, ¿cómo es la conjugación de tener? So if we're working with ustedes, what conjugation of tener should we use? So ellos, ellas, ustedes, tienen. So tú y María tienen, and then again, have to see. So we're going to use our three-part structure that we reviewed with a form of tener and que and infinitivo. So tú y María tienen que, and then see the movie, ver, and then we have the vocab given to us here. When we see it, la película. La película. So vamos a repetir todo junto. Tú y María tienen que ver la película. Muy bien, buen trabajo. Okay, número 3, Francisco has a new house in the woods. So we're talking about, this is just simple possession. Again, this is one of the cases that was the same as English versus talking about like age and some other expressions where we don't use to have in English. In this case, we do use the same. So it should be nice and simple for us, nice and easy. So Francisco and has, so again, remembering those conjugations. Francisco tiene, like for él, ella, usted. Francisco tiene, okay, a new house, una casa nueva, okay, and we have the woods here in our sentence, and el bosque. Todo junto. This is why I really enjoyed these translation exercises in terms of as a teaching tool, because here we have to put a lot of different parts together, right? We're not just practicing with this verb, but we need to remember some vocabulary from different sections, other parts of grammar, numbers. So it's a great way for you to practice putting all of your things together, all your skills together. So repite, Francisco tiene una casa nueva en el bosque. Muy bien. Okay, so dos más. We're going to do two more together in our quick review session. So número 4, your father and I have to go to the doctor. Here's another have to do something structure. So your father and I. Tu padre y yo. Your father and I. Tu padre y yo. So if we think about these two people together, so you're your father and I, that's like saying we, right? So we need to use the verb that goes with we. Tu padre y yo, okay? And so then the form of tener that goes with we or nosotros is tenemos. Again, hopefully you have that chart fresh in your mind from our practice. Tu padre y yo tenemos, and then the three-part structure of to have to do something. Tenemos que ir, have to go. So tu padre y yo tenemos que ir, and then to the doctor, al doctor or a la doctora if it's a female doctor. Okay. Vamos a repetir la frase juntos. Tu padre y yo tenemos que ir al doctor. Perfecto. Okay. Vamos a hacer uno más. So we're going to try doing one more together. Número 5. I don't have a car. I have to take a taxi. There's another one that has the first part is possession, like you have something and you don't have something. Second part is another of the have to do structure. So número 5. The first part, I don't have a car. So here's our first negative. So yo no tengo. Okay, yo no tengo. As we practice with all of our negatives in Spanish, we just have to put no in front of the verb. Yo no tengo un coche or carro, or there are many words for car in Spanish, but choose your favorite one. I'm going to use coche. Yo no tengo un coche. I have to take a taxi. I have to take a taxi. So yo, and then have to take. Again, we're practicing this three-part structure. The first part, tener. First part, que. Then third part is infinitive. So yo tengo, right? Yo tengo que. And then to take, the verb tomar un taxi. Okay, y repite conmigo. Repeat with me the last one. Yo no tengo un coche. Yo tengo que tomar un taxi. Muy bien. Excelente. So as I said, we're gonna cut off this exercise here. This was supposed to be a quick rapid fire review of the verb tener. But if you want to get more practice, as I mentioned, I have made several other videos on this topic in the past. So if you want to check out the video library on on the Facebook Live page of our website. You're welcome to check out there. All of the videos we've made for Community Spanish are up there, and including all of our other community programs too. So you can find Community Mandarin videos, Community French videos, Children's French videos, and Children's Spanish videos. There's tons of content up there, lots of videos, and in many of the videos also even have an accompanying worksheet. So you don't only have the exercises that were done in the video itself to follow along with and to participate in, but you also have some extra resources outside of the video for you to practice. So there's tons of material up there, and we're happy to share. Again, this is a free program, so we really want to share this program and all of the different materials with everyone and anyone who is interested and can benefit from them. So that's all for me today. I'll next be back on Wednesday at 12 for next Community Spanish. Gracias y adiós.